everyone, welcome back to Liz Sews. It is my favorite time of the month where I get to show you all of the things that I've been up to. The first dress that I'm wearing is what I'm calling my Stormy Birds dress. This is a circle skirt, just a basic three-piece circle skirt, and then a bodice that I have altered to make it sort of a square basque neckline. I was really hoping to get more of like a trapezoidal sort of shape, but I ended up having to take in about an inch on the shoulders because it just was not fitting correctly. I really should have done a muslin, and should have learned by now that I need to do muslins when I make drastic changes like this, but I didn't. So this is what I have. I still really like it. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw I was hemming and hawing whether to put a black lace panel up here because I was worried that it might be a little bit too low cut, but Tony really preferred it this way, so I left it as is. So I did add an inch waistband in here because I thought it wasn't quite long enough, and like I said, I took off an inch in the shoulder. And then I think I still need to pinch out a little bit of excess fabric in the upper back. I did a really high upper back because I knew that with a wide neckline like this, it was apt to sort of like fall off the shoulders otherwise. But I think there's a little bit of excess fabric here that might need to be pinched out a little bit. It's a little hard to get into this dress just because the back neckline is so high. So the zipper, it's really hard to get all the way up here without some help from somebody else. This next outfit I have to show is using McCalls 6696, which is, you know, the classic shirt dress that every sewist uses. I have made 3 of these already, so this would be my 4th. It might be my 5th, I'm not sure. I really love this pattern, and I think it looks great on everybody who makes it. So I have used this sort of painterly blue fabric that I purchased from IKEA. If you saw my Make 9s for 2018, I was thinking about using this fabric to do a different Vogue shirt dress, but it's a little bit too thick and of a fabric for that, especially with the gathers on the shoulder and the back and stuff like that. So I thought that this shirt dress pattern was probably a better fit for this fabric, and I actually really like how it turns out. I was thinking I might need to like wash it in Coca-Cola, which a lot of people have recommended to me, or soda ash to sort of soften it up, but I think it turned out really well, and I don't think I need to do that. Instead of the pleated skirt that comes with the pattern, I opted to go for a circle skirt instead. I just felt that because the fabric is so thick and stiff, I didn't want a lot of excess material with pleats in my waistline. So I'm really happy with how the circle skirt turned out. And because the fabric is sort of stiff, I think it gives the skirt a lot of structure and flow, and it looks really nice in the circle skirt. The top of the bodice, I did the short or sleeveless version, and then just used bias binding around the armhole. And the reason I did that is because the short sleeve versions that I made of this I love, but it's kind of hard to wear a cardigan or something over the top of it. So I plan on wearing this with a cardigan probably in the cooler months. So I just figured that having the sleeveless version made it easier to layer, and the thick fabric didn't have to didn't feel like a thick fabric would lend itself well to having sleeves. So instead of doing the poofy gathers that are on this pattern, I just did a pleat at the top and then again at the waistline, and then pressed it down really nice so it looks a little bit more streamlined and sleek. And I think that worked really well having this with this thicker fabric. I did a couple of things. I didn't interface my button plackets or my collar stand just because I knew this fabric was so rigid. I might kind of regret that on the buttons placket, but we'll see. And then I used just a navy fabric on the inside of the yoke and this collar stand, just because I wanted to remove some of the bulk that was in that area, and that worked pretty well. I've done this in the past when I've made a denim version of a shirtwaist dress, and then I just used quilting cotton on the inside so that the seams weren't as bulky. And I think that turned out really well. All in all, I'm very pleased with this dress. I think it turned out better than I could have hoped, and I'm really glad that I got to use this fabric. Now, while I'm wearing this, I will share something else that I made this month, and that is a necessary clutch wallet using the same fabric. And I would say this fabric is even quite thick for doing the necessary clutch wallet. I interfaced everything in the SF101 woven fusible stabilizer, and it's just a little bit too thick for my tastes. And then I used Peltex in the flap and then the body as well. So the inside of the purse is like this. I used the IKEA fabric for the card slots, and then this matching navy fabric for my 2 zipper pockets. And I definitely used Sean's tutorial from Kittenish Behavior, and it was wonderful to be able to sew along with her at the same time. The pace was perfect, so I hardly never had to stop the videos. So that was really, really helpful to have when I was making this for the first time. So all of the hardware for this I did purchase from Emmeline Bags, who is the maker of this pattern, the necessary clutch wallet. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So next we have my Fox print shirt. I cannot remember the pattern number, so I will try to remember and put a picture of it right here. So the Fox print shirt, I did have some issues with this. I think the back facing is not drafted correctly. The 2 pieces are completely different widths between the back and the front facing, so they don't match up at all. And then I also found that the front facing wasn't the right size either, so I ended up having to take a pleat right here in the center front just so that I could get the facing to fit in there. And because I put that pleat in, I think that it should have been the size of what the fabric was and not the size of the facing, because it's a little tight to get around my head. Like, it's fine, I can get it on, but I think I would have preferred it to be a little bit looser. And the other thing I don't love about this pattern is I find the upper arms are quite small. I just barely can get my arm in there, but it's a tight fit, and then it only really looks great if my arms are like straight down at my side. It doesn't, like, the shoulders start coming up a little bit when you start moving around. So I just don't like the way that is drafted. I do, however, love the bottom of the sleeve. So it's a gathered around, and then it just has a cuff, and then I put some snaps on the cuff because I got a rivet press, and so now I can do snaps really, really easily. So I did a snap cuff, but I thought that the bottom of the sleeve looks really nice, and I do love the tie detail, and of course I love this fabric. So even though the shirt isn't the best that it could be, and that I do have some issues with it, I am really, really happy with the finished outcome, and I think it looks really great, and I can't wait to wear this to work. So the last item that I have on is the shirt that I made for Tony. But I will steal it from time to time just because I really like it. It is my favorite fabric that I had in my stash, so I'm a little bummed that I didn't get to use it, but it looks fabulous on him, so I can't complain too much. He did have me make quite a few alterations when I was working on it. We put it on, and then he had me slim up the sides a little bit more. This is a pattern that I've made for him probably 3 times already, so this is the first time I've had to sort of slim the sides down. And I also reduced the arm width because it's quite baggy, and then I didn't have pockets on it, and he tried it on and he said he really, really wanted pockets, so I put pockets on. Even though I hate doing pockets, I put them on just for him, and he really, really likes this shirt. He wore it probably 4 days in a row after I finished making it, so it made me feel really good that he enjoys and gets so much wear out of something that I've made for him. So on the bra making front this month, I didn't do as many as I normally do. I did work on my sheer bra as I had promised in my February plans video. I did this blue sheer bra. This is using the Harriet pattern, and I've made some alterations to the pattern. This is really, really good. I thought the only thing that I needed to do is widen the bridge just a little bit right here. And then I wanted to work on this underarm area because that sort of cuts in on me. But this is still a very good wearable bra. So then after I did the blue one, I did a white sheer bra with a widened bridge, and then I scooped out this a little bit, and I ended up having to cut down my wires for this bra. So the wires I had, the underarm was just too high, and that was what was making it uncomfortable. So I trimmed about maybe 20 millimeters off of the underwire, and then I used some heat shrink tubing to just cover up the ends of it, which is what Bra Maker Supply recommends using. And Tony has a bunch of heat shrink for wires, so I didn't even have to buy anything extra to do that. So really happy with this white bra. I think I have enough materials that I want to go back and make a green sheer bra. I made the green sheer bra previously, but I just didn't like how it fit. So I think I have enough white that I can make it again in white and then just dye the whole thing if it works. But I'm pretty sure it will because this one works really well for me. And also in bras, I did a Watson sewing tutorial this month, and I'll try to link the video up here if you guys are interested in that. The reason that I didn't do very much bra making this month is that I kind of got stuck into making wallets. So I showed you the necessary clutch wallet that I made in this blue fabric. But before I made that one, I had just started out. I used to use this Vera Bradley little wallet, maybe purse thing. I used it to death. Like, I wore holes in it, and that's why I wanted to make some more new stuff for myself. But so the first thing I wanted to do was to replace that. So I started and I made this little wallet. You can see it has a section in the front that has clear vinyl where your ID goes, and then a section where all of your cards go, zipper, and then you add a key ring on here. So this was the first one I made in this matte print, but it wasn't quite perfect because I used the wrong sort of interfacing in it. I used the SF101, and it was just a little bit too bulky, and it's hard to get the cards in through the zipper. So I made another one using this fabric that you'll remember from, this is a Robert Kaufman fabric called Riviera in the Effervescence, Effervescence fabric line. So I made a dress out of it, so I had some left over, and so I made this wallet. And this one is pretty perfect. Again, it has the front place where you can put your ID, and then places for your cards inside, place to attach your key ring, and then I used a little zipper pull in here that says handcrafted. I don't know if you can see that or not. That came from MLM bags as well. So I really, really like this, and I started using it, but then once I made my necessary clutch wallet, this is sort of not as good, so I don't use this now. But it was fun to make. So in addition to that blue clutch wallet, I also made one in leather. So this is lambskin leather, and on this one I used a snap closure and just this black and white material on the inside. And then it has this really nice silver bag trim that I got from MLM bags. And then I tried to make a wristlet for this, but I didn't like how the leather kind of twisted and turned and stretched a little bit. So I went back and bought a purse chain to go with it. So this is just a purse chain. This is the 46-inch length purse chain, which I think is perfect for if you want to wear it crossbody style. I also found the 36-inch length just to be a little bit short on me because it was like right under my bust. So I think this is a much better length, the 46. So this is done in leather. And then I also made a matching purse to go with it, and this is all cut from the same hide. I did run out of leather, so I had to buy a second hide just to do the straps, but the clutch wallet and the purse itself are cut the same lambskin hide. All of the hardware came from M-Line Bags, and then this is the Miss Maggie tote pattern from M-Line Bags, which is a free pattern, free PDF download, which is really cool. And I love this pattern. I think it's very simplistic. It still looks very sleek and modern. So I love these bag anchor hardwares in silver, and then I got the matching label on there that says handmade. I use the same interior fabric in this bag as I did with the clutch wallet, which is this black and white, and then it has pockets up here which I measured that fit my phone, and then pens, and then I have some just random stuff, business cards in the third pocket. But really happy with this purse, and the fact that I was able to make a leather purse and matching wallet for around $30 I think is a really good deal, because there's no way you're getting genuine leather for $30 if you buy it in the store. So that is everything I have gotten up to in the month of February. I got most of my sewing plans done. There was just one project that I didn't get to, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Work has picked up a lot, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done in March, but I will try to get at least a couple of things in. So take care. See you next time.